Hey guys, welcome to Manoeuvre's video for Clat 2020. I am Advocate Nisha Lotia and my today's session is about how a Clat aspirant can boost his or her score for the English section. I'm sure guys that if you see this entire video then you can surely boost your score for the English section. So guys, as we see in this slide, Clat exam is always conducted mostly on the second Sunday of May month. Okay, so second Sunday should be your D-Day. This is tentative as of yet. Total questions are 200 and the duration is 120. So guys, the problem lies there is not even proper 40 to 45 seconds for a single question. So this is the main constraint area where you're not able to boost your score just because of the time constraint. Guys, English has 40 questions and the negative marking is 0.25, so the incorrect answer will take away your 0.25 marks, and types of questions are MCQs. So we here at Manoeuvre will teach you how to solve particular questions just in few seconds. This is our most boosting thing today. So if you will see with me the entire video, you will understand what I want to tell you and how you will boost your score. So guys, if you want to join our classroom program, you can call on these numbers, say for BORIVALI, DADAR and VASAI. And if you are not able to join us for the classroom program, you can join us for the online program across India, and for any assistance you can call on this number or you can visit our website. So now without any time, let's get started with a motivational quote. What is a motivational quote? A lawyer with his briefcase can steal more than 100 men with guns. Who said this? Mario Puzo. Now what it is that you get a degree, you get a lawyer's degree and you are done for your life, okay? Every person will run behind you. You don't have to go to anybody. But once you crack exams with good marks, all the entrance exams, okay, and especially Clat, so you will directly get into NLUs, okay? So you get good marks. Once you crack exams with good marks, then no one can stop from creating bright and successful future. Students, why I am saying so? Because there is a lot of scope in this field like litigation, judge, magistrate, arbitrator, solicitor, political advisor, probation officer, paralegal instructor, journalist, etc. There is no end to it. You can just get into any field of your liking. So now with this motivational quote, let us get started with the syllabus for the Clat. Now English, as we know, we all have been doing since our childhood. So you don't have to, learn a lot of things, but what you have to do is actually read a lot of things. The more you are comfortable with the language, the more you can score in your exams. Now what you have to read, you don't have to do a random reading. You have to read things attached to our syllabus. For that I can say the Hindu newspaper, the editorial page and the headlines, the first page. I want you guys to religiously read it every day for half an hour. Just read it loudly in your room, okay? Next we'll start with the syllabus. Vocabulary part. In vocabulary you have synonyms, antonyms and analogies. Now we at Manoeuvre have a lot of books for this, so you can subscribe for the books, or when you join our classroom programs or offline programs, we provide you the same. Rest you have to do lots of synonyms and antonyms because vocab plays an important role. So these vocabs will help you even in your comprehension part. Now what are analogies? We all know synonyms are the similar words, and antonyms are the opposites. So for antonyms you have to first find the synonym of the word and then only go for antonym, so that is a better choice. The best thing about the vocab where I can assist you is that you have to find whether the meaning of the word is positive or a negative. So accordingly you need a vocab. If you're finding for a meaning, so if it is a positive meaning, you need a positive vocab. The negative ones as it is get eliminated. Now what is analogy? Analogy are finding relationship between two different words, okay? Two different words, you have find a relationship, the similarity between the two different words. Say for example, if human beings have hands, what does tiger have? So if human beings have, say, nails, what does a tiger have? So tiger has claws. So if we breathe with say nose, how does a fish breathe? So they breathe with the help of gills. So gills is your answer. There are two different things, but there is some similarity, there is some relationship which can be based on, say, on the characteristics, or which can be based on the relation, or which can be based on the functions. It can be based even on the on the opposites. So there are different ways whereby you can solve the analogies. Now let's come to other area, which is English proficiency. Now what is this? These are the idioms and phrases. Let's say that a simple phrase I will say, that there is a burnt hole in your pocket. What does that mean? That means you spend very quickly. So these are the idioms and phrases which are of almost 2 to 3 marks in your Clat papers. One word substitution again. Sentence improvement is nothing but a question based on your grammar rules, whereby a part of a sentence will be highlighted in your exam. So the link between the highlighted part and the non-highlighted part is very important when it comes to sentence improvement. The basic grammar rules which we teach, like say a collective noun takes a singular verb, or say once is followed by a pronoun one. Or you can say that the golden rule of an adverb, whereby if a sentence is introduced by an adverb, inverted form of sentences are used. There are lots and lots of grammar rules, but we here at Manoeuvre teach you some precise rules which are absolutely important for your examination point of view. What are paragraph jumbles? Paragraph jumbles is again sentences are jumbled up and you have to rearrange them, and fill in the blanks is nothing but your close test, which is absolutely vocab based. These two questions I will show you after this slide. So we're going to do practically, I'll explain you the same. So let us go on the another part of it, which is called as English usage errors. Matlab, they will give you something that is wrong, and we have to select what is a wrong part. You have to opt where is the error over there. So spotting errors is again also known as error detection. Okay, is also known as error detection. This is again your grammar based question, whereby a sentence is fragmented into 5 parts, and the 5th option being a no error option, and you have to spot in which particular part is the error. These are also based on the grammar rules. They are sometimes even based on the spell check. So there are various ways where they can form a question from these type of subject. Then is inappropriate usage of the words, in the sense you have to, from the given 4 options, you have to choose which is the correct statement. And the spelling checks. Spelling checks are something which is very easily scoring, but you have to be very alert for that, because 4 of the 4 options will be very close knit. So the words like entrepreneur, words like business, accommodation, then say hemorrhage, proceed, succeed, these kinds of words you can expect for your spell check. Now the most important and the most dominating area over here is your English comprehension. That is nothing but your reading comprehension. Reading comprehension, how different it is from what you did in your school days. You have to mark all the questions as per the author's point of view. The author's point of view is very, very important when it comes to reading comprehension. Guys, how you have to do it? First, you have to grasp the whole idea with the intellect, in the sense you have to read as well as understand at the same time. Regular reading of newspapers or any materials which you find appropriate for your English reading comprehensions are always welcome. No doubt the current scenario, then the topics like how a lawyer, how a lawyer behaved in olden days, and what are his proceeds to the market nowadays, and how it is helpful for the society at large. These kinds of topics are always important when it comes to your Clat English paper. Now, understanding the main idea, this is very important, because the main idea is something whereby you will have to title the passage as per the main idea. What is a passage? Basically, passage is nothing but the mixture of the main ideas and the supporting ideas. Main ideas and the supporting ideas. So both of it has to be the same thing. So you have to understand the difference and accordingly mark the answer. Next come understanding of the question posed. Understanding what type, in the sense if the question is which is the true statement or which is the false statement among the given options. So these kind of questions carries the weightage of the entire passage. So you have to understand properly what is the question expecting out of you. So now let's go to the next slide. I'll just explain you how to solve a paragraph jumble just within few seconds, guys. Paragraph jumble is nothing but there are few sentences given to you. The sentence internally are absolutely okay grammatically. The problem arises in the sequencing them. The problem arises in sequencing them. So we're gonna sequence here properly. Now if you go and read each and every detail of this particular words, you won't be able to do it within the particular time frame. So what I'm gonna look is, I'm gonna look for the keywords. So for understanding paragraph jumble, what we do, we divide this statement into three parts, say the opening statements, the central theme, and the closing statement. Now we know the opening statements are absolutely independent statement. They do not need dependency on any other statement. They are by their own. They are absolutely independent. Now this statement will connect to the sentences with the central theme. But again you have to understand that the words in the central theme should not be of the closing theme. In the sense, like if I say consequently, or if I say finally, or if I say hence. So these kinds of words will never be your closing statements, will never be your central theme. They will always be your closing statement. So for understanding properly, we will divide a paragraph into three parts: opening, central, and closing. So when we start reading, we have to first always go for the opening statement, and then the rest of the things will follow. For this, I'll just make you aware how to do it. Guys, let's get started. And one more thing I want to point out over here before getting started is that these options are helpful. But over here I have seen in so many question papers, in the examination question papers, that the options given can also mislead you at the same time. So you can refer to these options, but only when you are 50% solved with the question. Before that, I advise you not to go on with these questions, okay, with these options. Now let us get started with the question. Economists all over the world have expressed anxiety in this regard. Now the word this regard can never be my opening statement. The first thing I'm going to look is for my opening statement. So over here C is also my opening statement, so I'll directly go to the C option. Indian economy has not shown desirable growth in the recent years. Now over here, guys, this is my absolutely independent statement, so I will keep this aside for my opening statement, and I'll refer to the E option of it. Now E option is saying me but one of the primary reasons. Now but, I will never start my paragraph with but one, okay. So this cannot be my opening statement, and over here A also cannot be my opening statement. So C is only my opening statement. So rest of the things, is C followed by D or C is followed by E. So I'll help you over here. Now C and D, let's see what is D saying. Grim global economic scenario has also contributed to this problem. We see there is some problem and also contributed to this. Looks like to be the connecting statement, but I'll check with E also. But one of the primary reasons. Now you have to understand, whenever there is but, it is a negative statement. So we never want a negative statement in connection to it. So I see this to be a positive statement which is attaching to it, which is doing as a work of a conjunction. So there is a pairing. So I will go with C and D. So without much time, I know that this is my correct option, as E is not be followed, D has to be followed. The rest of the things will fall in place. So this is the way how you solve paragraph jumbles, okay guys, with some shortcut tricks, with the mandatory pairs, with the help of articles. There's so many various ways in which you can solve a paragraph jumble. कौन से क्वेश्चन को कौन सा आइडिया लगेगा, it depends upon how you guys practice and how you understand the topic. So it's nothing like that you cannot solve, but CLAT exam is all about time limit. You have to solve it in a particular time limit. So guys, let's go to the next topic. It is about cloze test, okay. What does the direction tell you? Choose the most effective word from given options and fill in the blanks. This is not a normal filling the blanks, guys. It is about cloze test. Now what is cloze test? It tests your vocab. The options provided to you, A, B, C, D, will be very much similar to each other. They will be close knit. So you have to choose the option which suits vocabulary. in the given subject. When we will do these examples, you will know. There are three types of questions posed over here. Sometimes it is a closed test with a single blank, sometimes it's a closed test with double blank, and sometimes there is also a paragraph in the closed test. So when there is a paragraph, you have to always read the paragraph first, do not directly jump on the options. So let's get started here, guys. He does not suffer from any dash disease at all. So the four options are acute, chronic, temporary, and irregular. If you see in a normal course, all these four options looks to be good. He does not suffer from any acute disease, he does not suffer from any chronic, temporary, and irregular. All the four options are absolutely correct. But when it comes to closed test, the best is the vocab part. So chronic, I must say, is the best option. This three also looks to be good, but chronic goes for the, what is the examiner wants out of you will be the chronic word. It is a vocab based thing. Let's get started with the next one. His party is solely to be blamed for the political dash in the country. Now when I am saying his party is solely to be blamed, the word blame is telling me that we want a negative word. We does not want a positive word. So the options over here will choose a negative one. So when it comes to the first option, which is revival, I see it to be a positive word. So I will eliminate it at the first place. Then comes degradation. Then comes stalemate and comes devaluation. Now we know even stalemate is not an appropriate word over here. The options over here, the close-knit ones I feel is degradation and devaluation. Again guys, lots of students will say, ma'am, devaluation. But devaluation is something we use when it is about the currency. So degradation over here is the correct option, because we are talking about the people, his party. Okay, we are not talking about money, we are talking about the people. So degradation will be a very good option over here. Let's get started with another one. It was difficult to remove my feet as it had got stuck in the mud. Dash in the mud. Now over here, fairly in the mud, greatly in the mud, widely in the mud, or firmly in the mud. Fairly also does not sound proper. Greatly to ho hi nahi sakta. Widely is also not suitable. Only the option firmly is suitable. Over here. So this is my correct option. Let's go to the another one. Now over here there are options with two blanks. So each option will be having two choices. So you have to understand that the both of the things has to fit in the blank. Okay, मतलब एक ये लिया आपने और एक ये लिया वो नहीं चलेगा. Both of the options has to fit in the blanks. Along with a sharp rise in dash, a recession would eventually result in more men, women, and children living in dash. So over here we understand that we want almost a negative words. So positive words will be eliminated. Crime and apathy, along with a rise in crime, a recession would eventually, see, if there is a crime, there cannot be a recession. Okay, there can be more of theft, there can be more of robbery or something like that, but there cannot be more of recession. So I do not see the first blank fitting it. So I will not work on the second, because this will save my time. Next come is, along with a sharp rise in fatalities, a recession, this is also not a good word. Next come is children, along with the sharp rise in death, a recession would eventually result in more. Now death is also, if there is a death, there cannot be a recession. There is no connection between these two words. So the last option, along with a sharp rise in unemployment, yes, unemployment and recession goes together, would eventually result in more men and women and children living in poverty. So I think this is my best option. Let's go for the other one. An airplane with dash passengers on the board made an unscheduled dash as the airport to which it was heading was covered with thick fog. Now there was some thick fog, so there has to be unscheduled what? Unscheduled slip, unscheduled stop, unscheduled halt, or unscheduled landing. So I see the slip, stop, and halt. Halt are not for aviation industry. They are more for the trains, for the railway industry. So I must say landing is my perfect option. So I would go for the option number 2, which is option number 4, which is numerous and lending. So this is the way that you have to be very vigilant and very smart to choose the words as per the subject, okay, as per the subject you are talking. Am I clear about it? Okay, let me know any comments if you have in the comment box. Guys, we have both weekdays and weekend batches at our Borivali, Dadar and VASAI centers. You can call on the respective numbers and inquire for the same. As we here at Manoeuvre make students do questions within few seconds. And if you can't join our online offline programs, then you can join our online programs, you know, and for any assistance you can call on these numbers or do visit us on our website. Do subscribe and like our channel for more such videos and information, and do share with your friends and family who are appearing for Clat 20